Hey guys, welcome back. It is Tetlock giving you a banner reaction and breakdown of the new Summer Returns banner. This will be our third year of summer banners, so it's going to be a lot of fun pulling all those summer heroes this year. As I'm sure most of you are aware, this banner was definitely delayed in coming out, and that was due to the tsunami and earthquake warnings out in Japan. So again, thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Japan. Hopefully they're all okay. But a little perk of that is, since the banner was delayed, I'm now doing my banner reaction with the stats here in front of me, so I can comment not only just their skill set, but also their stats too, and see how well that meshes with their skill sets. So, let's get into this.
My homeland is blanketed in snow. I am just not used to this heat.
Alright, so first unit we have up is Gunther. I did not mean to cut her off there. Very similar to a summer unit of last year, Summer Lind. She is also a cavalier unit that wields daggers. And like with most seasonal units, she is the first of a group of these units that has kind of a theme to their weapons. And this time around, the theme is if a bonus granted by a skill like Rally or Hone is active on the unit, unit gets plus attack res +4, and then obviously since she's a dagger wielding unit, she does get the dagger 7 effect. Again, she does that weapon skill definitely does synergize with her skill spread really well. She has 33 attack, which is pretty substantial. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's decent enough to carry her own weight as a dagger cavalier unit. So that +4 attack is definitely going to help there, and she's definitely more focused defensively on resistance, which is good because she probably will be targeting. She probably will be targeting mages more often than not, since she is a ranged unit. So having higher res initially is good, and then the +4 res granted from her weapon is also beneficial there. She has rally defense res plus, which is a great skill to fodder off if you're into arena, and helps out a lot with arena scoring. But the rest of her skill set was pretty disappointing to me. She's definitely a unit that's geared entirely for arena Aether raids. We've seen units come with one Aether Raid skill. This is the first time I believe we've seen a unit come with 2 Aether Raid skills. And everyone here who's watched my channel knows how I feel about these skills. I don't pull for them. I think they're very overrated. I think IS gives them a lot more weight than they more deserve, and thinks players care about them more than they actually do. And again, I still haven't seen people using the AR skills in Aether raids, and I don't see people really clamoring to pull for them to inherit them onto units. Disarm Trap is actually a decent skill if you use Aether raids. I have it on the Spring Pala, and I do use it from time to time in Aether raids, but at the same time, I'm not foddering off. I'm using it because she came with it, not because I was really trying to pull for her. It's more of a use by convenience sort of thing. So if you really wanted to use her or make her an effective unit in everyday content, you'd really have to build up a lot of her skills.
I'm swimming with leg yarn, but you can come too.
Alright, so next unit is Levitate, and wow, is she impressive. We haven't had a power creep like this banner in a long time, whether it's units or skills. This banner certainly raised the bar, and this is one of the first units that certainly does raise the bar. She has Buoy Board, again has the same weapon skill that Gunther had, and will have on another weapon, on 2 other weapons in this banner. So again, part of the whole theme weapon effect. So again, use the Rally or Hone skill, activates attack res +4 during combat, which again also synergizes really well with her skill set and her stats. So Levitate is min-maxed to all living hell, very high attack at 38, tied for the absolute lowest speed in the game at 16, which is kind of baffling since her normal unit actually was not bad in the speed department. It's actually pretty substantially speedy. And then she also has actually pretty fantastic mixed bulk with 26 defense, if I'm right. Or sorry, 26 res and 33 defense. So again, she has decent mixed bulk, very, very serviceable, and a pretty high attack. Again, that attack res buff from her weapon is going to go fit very nicely, bringing her res up to 30. So having a 33-30 flyer is going to be very tanky. And then also you have Mirror Impact, which is going to bring her res up another 10 points, which is a crazy 40 res on initiation. And then you have Defense Res Link. Everyone here knows that I fawn over these skills. I think they're incredibly underrated, and I like them, use them on my units all the time. So that's another plus 6 on defense and res there. And then on odd wave, you have odd attack wave, so plus 6 attack on odd turns. So this entire skill set is basically, as she's initiating on odd turns, she's getting 38 plus 12 from the might of her weapon is, again, we're going off a completely neutral stat spread here. So she would have 50 attack, plus 6, plus 6, plus 4 from her weapon effect. So that's 66 attack, which is absurd, which you kind of need with her unit because she is not doubling anything in the game. When she can't double Arden, that's a problem. So yes, she needs all the help she can get. So she's definitely trying to one-shot at units. And then also having, between, if you have defense res link, you're going to have 39 defense, which is absurd for a tanking flying unit. And then for res is even greater, where you're having so 30 defense with her weapon effect, and another plus 10 for Mirror Impact if she initiates. That's 40, and then 46 defense. Guys, that's just absolutely crazy how tanky she is. So if you're going to reposition her into a unit's range, she certainly will do the job as a tank. And then if she doesn't kill them on the first one, she can certainly go ahead and finish off the job on the next turn after she tanks the hit and weakens the unit after the first counterattack. You just have to make sure that she does not get doubled. But apart from that, incredibly powerful unit, and definitely got some ideas floating around that you'll have to wait for in the unit build.
You laughing at me? I will end you.
Now, unlike Levitate, Bindi is very, very similar to his normal, the normal version of himself. He comes with green dual infantry. Here he is with red dual infantry. His stat spread is almost identical. I believe there's only there's a slight variation in attack, speed, and res by 1 point, but it's all very similar. And I can't remember if his original version comes with attack ploy or panic ploy or not, but again, the coincidences are already there between the infantry skills and then the stat spread. So again, he's an incredibly tanky unit. Bindi is faster than Levitate, and that's saying something. That's unfathomable that this unit can be faster than tiny petite Levitate on a dragon. So again, IS might want to rethink that one. But again, following the script here with the weapon skills, he also has he gets bonuses from a rally or a home, but this one is for attack and defense, which makes sense because he does have a higher defense stat. He's definitely, because he is a close counter unit, he definitely fights in close ranges. As I've mentioned before on this channel, that if you do close combats are majority physical attacks, and then the ranged combats are majority magical attacks. So because he is a close combat unit, his kit is going to be focused on defense. So you see the plus defense 4 here in his weapon instead of the res. And then he also gets rally attack defense plus. Again, great skill for arena if you want to fodder him off, especially onto a red infantry unit. I think the combination of these two skills right here is going to spell the demise of a lot of Hell Bindis. I wouldn't say the red infantry sword units that are tanky is a super saturated class, because it's not. He definitely has a niche, but there are so many red sword infantry units that it would be hard for him to fight his way in. And again, like the original Hell Bindi, I'm not really enthralled to pull for him. He doesn't really make me really want to go after him or have any uniqueness that I feel like I need on my team. But again, if you're a Hell Bindi fan, go for it. He's definitely a great unit. He has the stats to actually be pretty manageable, and you can actually build him up to be a really fantastic tank. That rivals some armored units from Gen 1 and Gen 2, and you don't have to worry about the one movement. He has normal movement, and he doesn't have the effective against armor. So again, he definitely does has his place. I would use him more as a tank. I mean, his attack stat is nothing to sneeze at. You can certainly make him offensive powerhouse. But again, that's if you pull him, and I don't see many people pulling him. And if they do, they might not get past this being foddered. Yikes. Sorry. Now to my last and favorite unit on
Compared
the
to the
banner.
scorching heat of Muspel, the midsummer sun is rather mild, I find. It's relaxing.
So I like her artwork and her voice acting for reasons. We'll just leave it at that. And so this is the one unit on the banner that has to differentiate from the theme of the weapons, and boy am I glad she did, because this weapon is absolutely amazing. It's basically like Marita's weapon or Levin's weapon. So grants speed +3, and she already has a substantially high speed stat of 37. So with this weapon equipped, she'll have 40 speed, and then if unit's HP is over 50% and unit initiates combat, unit can make the follow-up attack before the foe can counterattack. So basically it's turning it into a brave weapon without the ability to quad, as long as she's above 50% HP and as long as she can counterattack. Obviously there are some very fast units in the game that she won't, and some units, like if they get buffed up, she won't be having enough speed to double, but that's neither here nor there. With 40 speed plus the 7 given from Swift Sparrow when she initiates, 47 speed is enough to initiate around, or double on around 45% of the units in the game without having their buffs considered. But to be fair, she really does come really well built. Unlike her sister, she has tremendous speed, which I already mentioned. She has a fairly respectable attack stat at 34. And then she actually does have a, not abysmal, but decent defense stat, 20 defense, 21 res. So you definitely want to maybe buff her up a little bit or give her an IO shield just for survivability. But she does come pretty well built. We knew Swift Sparrow 3 was coming, and it is as insane as you can imagine. Plus attack and plus 7 speed on initiation is absurd. I know a lot of units who would like that. She also has reposition, which again is a perfect unit for flyers since they have command of almost the entire map with how they want to move. Flyer formation and home flyers just screams put her in a flyer ball, because she could certainly benefit other flyers with home flyers. And then also her speed, her movement would benefit from flyer formation, and she could also benefit a lot from ward flyers and defensive buffs, given her kind of middling bulk on the defensive and res stat. But again, where she really shines is her offensive power. Again, having a very, I believe Levin's offensive spread is 35-37, and she has 34-37. So again, certainly something she can take advantage of. And again, this weapon skill is absurd. So with her fast speed and her significant attacking power, she will probably be able to take out most units in the game that have low res before they can even counterattack. So, especially if you put in a flyer ball with ward and goad flyers, any skills like that are certainly going to help her. If you put legendary Azura in the flyer ball, attack tactic plus prayer wheel, it's going to give her solid defensive bulk and probably enough speed and attack combined with Sparrow to destroy almost anything in this game. So she is by far and away my winner of this banner, and because of her and Levitate, it is going to be very, very hard for me not to pull in this banner. But to my surprise, I looked at the banner this morning and we have 49 days to pull. 49. That's a month and 2/3 essentially. So definitely have a long time to mull it over and think about what I'm going to do with these banners. But I would be shocked if I didn't spend some orbs on this banner, just because Levitate and Leguarn are so good. Also, if you noticed here in the last scene, actually let's just admire this. As you can see in the last scene, as I'm sure many of you who are watching this have already played through these maps, we also get Flashing Blade 3 fodder. I mean, Yilger. Yilger, that's her name, not Flashing Blade 3 fodder. She actually does have quite a lot of usefulness, and for the first time that I can remember, or the first time in a long time, we're getting a free-to-play or a free unit that's actually so good. She really does have an incredible stat spread. She really has a tremendous amount of bulk. She has that axe that grants the plus attack defense buff on it. If a hone or rally skill is used, and I can certainly see people using her and building her just because she does have a very high BST for an infantry unit. You'd be quite surprised due to her small stature, but again, decent enough speed to carry her. Certainly, I mean, it's not great, but it's certainly not as bad as well, I apologize, I mixed up the defense and res stat. She has a lot of speed. She has 36 speed. Incredible speed, and 35 attack, which is just an absurd, absolutely absurd attack spread for this unit, and for any free-to-play unit, might I add. IS really gave us a gift this summer with Yilger, but I have a lot of units that are already built up, like Ira and Carla, that could really use Flashing Blade 3 in their kits. And I've really been waiting for this to come out for an easy way to get Flashing Blade 3. So, sorry, Yilger, you might be sent the way of the dodo for your skills. But that's a good thing. We should be happy about this. IS is actually putting good skills and good stats on a free-to-play unit. So, especially for newcomers to the game, that's a really good sign to have viable units to actually play and clear content with. So yeah, this is a little bit of power creep in my banner, especially with some of the skills like Mirror Impact and Swift Sparrow 3. Also, a lot of these units have tremendous stat spreads, and could be quite useful as long as they're built right. And speaking of building units, my unit concept build video will be coming out here shortly, as soon as I play around. I have some ideas I want to play around with and kind of bring to you some of the more interesting builds, in my opinion. Apart from that, yeah, I would probably, if I was a betting man, I would put my bets on that I'm something on this banner. So if it goes well, and if I end up spending a lot of orbs, you'll definitely see it on YouTube. Alright guys, so that brings us to the end of the Summer Returns banner review. I hope you found the information useful. If you are going to summon on this banner, please let me know down in the comments, and also let me know what you think of the units and which ones you're going to go for. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe. We now have a fancy new button here on the bottom left hand side of the screen instead of Reeve telling you to subscribe. And also, if you like this video, you might like some other videos on this channel, like these concept review builds up here on the top right. Take care guys.